Tonight, Friday Night Lights comes early. It is Wednesday night hockey, and the spotlight is squarely on the biggest stage of the season, the 2025 CSHL Championship game. After a season of relentless competition, full of highlight reel moments, underdog upsets, playoff drama, only two teams remain, the Southern Knights and the Northeastern Natterjacks. They have battled their way through it all, and now they face off with everything on the line. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Extreme Ice Center, home of the Queen City Royals Hockey Club, for tonight's title matchup. I'm Ted Franz, your host and play-by-play voice for tonight's championship coverage. Joining me on commentary is Tyler Lachaume, here to break down all the biggest moments and the sharpest plays. Tyler, how we doing, bud?
We are doing great. What a great night. Both teams ready to take on this championship game and give us the best game that they possibly can.
And running the show behind the scenes, our production manager, Bert Lawson, operating the camera, managing the visuals, and keeping us live for all of you watching at home. Let's get to the and the experience to keep the crowd on their feet. Lock in your event now at 843-718-5110 or visit YesCarolinas.com. Make sure to follow the party on TikTok and Instagram at Yes Carolinas. Say yes to the music, yes to the moment. Say yes, Carolinas. All right, well, let's break this one down by the numbers. We look here, the Natterjacks clearly on the record. Goals for dead even at 85. I'll tell you, the difference maker here is going to be that goals against. Gutman in the net, staunch in there, not giving a lot of things up. Also on special teams, Natterjacks leading at 28% on the penalty or on the power play, 82 on the kill. Goals for per game is even. For the Southern Knights, we're going to talk Riley Ellsbury. 21 goals, 20 assists, 41 points on the season. Tyler, what do we think about this guy?
I mean, Ellsbury has been a huge in playoffs as well, having 14 points, 7 goals, and 7 assists. He's a dangerous player on that top line for the Southern Knights.
Over on the other side of the ice, the Northeastern Natterjacks. We are going to talk about John Sisti, 10 goals, 6 assists on the season. Tell me about Sisti.
Sisti, usually a forward in the regular season for his usual team, plays defense in high school. We're going to see him as a standout player tonight as that first line on Southern. He's going to have to shut down.
We'll look really quick at the starting lineups for the Knights. Starting up forward, it's going to be Ethan Merritt, Riley Ellsbury, Chuck Norris back on D, Ethan Mumpower with his first goal last night, and Ashton Savage. On the other side of the ice for the Natterjacks, up forward, Thomas Johnson, Jamison Palermo, Jacoby Clevenger, Wyatt Tranby, and John Sisti back on D. We're going to take a short break for the lineup calls on the ice, the national anthem, and we will be right back after this short break. You're watching Friday Night Lights. Kirill Zazulovic. Kirill Zazulovic comes in, hell of a night last night, shutting down the Predators in that one.
Yeah, absolutely. A 39-26 shot differential. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way for the other team, but unreal saves. I wouldn't expect him to make anything other than that tonight.
On the other side in net, number 1, Ryan Gutman. 4.08, led the league in goals against. He had another great game last night as well.
Yeah, no, Gutman is another goalie that's going to stand on his head tonight, and let's get started on this game.
All right, puck's down. Championship is underway. Southern Knights win the faceoff, looking to make a move early. Norris plays it back to Ellsbury. Ellsbury loses possession, wraps it around the backside of the net, looking for Merritt. Norris comes up with it. He's met by Palermo down in the corner. Ellsbury, far side corner, passes it back to Ethan Merritt. Merritt met by Sisti down low in the near side corner. Met by Chuck Norris. Merritt comes up with it. He takes a shot that goes wide. Clevenger trying to clear it out, gets it to Johnson. Johnson gets it out into the neutral zone, up to Palermo. Palermo's going to try to take a shot that's stick down by Savage. Mumpower with possession through the Knight zone, passes it up to Norris. Norris, far side, at the half wall. Gets tripped up by Tranby, puck down in low, shot. Gutman able to stop that one for the whistle. 14:03 in the first.
I feel like it's going to be a long game with both colors being pretty dark. Like, if you're looking for a pass, you have to know it's either purple or it's black, because you could definitely pass it to the wrong player in tonight's game.
Face off in the Natterjack zone just to the right of Gutman. One back to Suster. Suster looks to play it up to Schooley. Puck up to Ryab Shopka. Ryab Shopka to the near side. Tries through the face-off circle. That gets knocked away. Ellsbury plays it out on the far side to Purpura. Down low, shot inside, saved by Zazulovic, and that's covered for the whistle.
Nice save by Zazulovic. Zazulovic, again, yesterday had a great game, and he actually skipped his 8th grade graduation yesterday to be at that game, which, again, that put them ahead, and that's why they're here.
Face-off won by the Knights. Ellsbury taking it by himself. He centers one up, quick shot inside, just misses from Cameron Burke. Burke comes back up with possession, plays it out to Caldwell out at the blue line. Caldwell tries to take a shot, doesn't get much on it. Ellsbury misses on a shot. Puck goes down into the corner. Burke plays it out to Ellsbury at the half wall. Puck back behind the net. Suster looking to clear it, gets it up to Nice. Nice able to clear the zone. Keeps possession, little back and forth to Miles Mann. Ellsbury back with possession. He's had a long shift here. Shot wide. Puck out to the blue line. Another shot. Mann gets in the way of that, knocks it out into the neutral zone. Caldwell plays it over to Ellsbury. Ellsbury looks to drop it down low. That's taken away by Matej Suster. He tries to clear the zone. Taken away by Ellsbury. Little back and forth at the blue line. Natterjack's able to clear the zone, get the puck out to Max Latour. Latour near side, down in the Knights zone, takes it to the half wall. From his knees, plays it back behind the net, out to Schooley on the far side. Schooley looks to center one up. That's knocked away by Colton Hintz. Sisti takes one into the face there. Hand up. Looks like that's going to get the call. Sisti maintains possession. He's coming down with speed. 3-on-2. He's got help to the inside. Puck goes in. Quick shot attempt there by Schooley. Doesn't get anything on it. Puck out to Tranby. He's going to lose possession. That's going to get the high sticking call from the Southern Knights. And with 12 minutes left to play in the first, we will go on our first power play of the game. And with that, it's time for a Rockhounds Power Play. Today's Power Play brought to you by Rockhounds Coffee Company. Whether it's even strength, specialty, or ice, make sure you're getting your mug filled by the one that gives you the man advantage. Rockhounds, where people can come together, share ideas, and create meaningful connections. Face-off won by the Natterjacks. Shot down low by Sisti. That gets knocked away. Centering pass taken away by Ashton Savage, who's able to clear the zone. You look at the stats on the power play there. The Natterjacks second in the league with 28.6%. Southern Knights right about even in the league at 6 with a 76% kill ratio.
Ooh.
Puck out into the neutral zone. Tranby will go ahead and send that one deep down into the zone. Natterjacks are 33% in the playoffs on the power play as they take it down into the Knights zone. Sisti takes a shot, and Barr post stops it. Puck played down low. Looked like Sisti had him beat dead to rights there. Clevenger cycles it out for Garrett Nice. Garrett Nice going to skate it in. Near side corner. Centers one up. Sticked away by Savage. Clevenger looks to drop it down low. Back to Palermo. Palermo met by Shore back behind the net. Todd Shore comes up with possession down into the corner. He's able to clear the zone. Doesn't get a lot on it, though. Sisti will reset. 35 seconds left on the power play. Up to Johnson. Johnson stretches it across looking for Clevenger. Clevenger keeps possession at the half wall. He's met by Brooks Gallimore down in the corner there. And the Knights are going to clear that one all the way out to the other end. I think Gutman a little confused there, put his hand up looking for the icing call. 10 seconds left on the Natterjacks power play. Nice tries to clear it out of the zone, unsuccessful. Knights are going to clear, or Knights will kill their first power play of the afternoon. Garrett Nice at the faceoff circle, shot, saved by Zazulovic.
Yeah, just something to note so far. I mean, 9 minutes, 53 seconds left in the period, and this is the first shift that we haven't seen Ellsbury or Chucky Norris on the ice. They were on the ice. One of them was at least on the ice for the first 5 minutes, so we will see if they continue to kind of double shift those players.
Face off inside, one shot. Zazulovic knocks that down to the backside of the net.
Puck goes to Legault up top. Just mishandled there by Suster. Suster trying to throw it back in, met by one of the Southern Knights players. Suster back in the zone.
Puck down low. Suster gets a shot. That goes just wide. Ethan Merritt looked to come out with some speed. Loses possession of the puck. Knights will look to reset. 9:15 left in the first period. Puck taken by Garrett Nice. Nice down into the Knights zone. Tries to skate it through the low slot there. That gets taken away. Latour takes a shot from deep. That's wide. Nice with possession. Out to Suster. Suster drops it down low. Suster with possession. Near side faceoff circle. Takes it back behind the net. And in the midst of doing a lap, that puck gets cleared out into the Natterjack zone. Knights will make a change. Nice. Passes one for Tittle. Tittle takes it down, far side corner. Tittle met by Norris. Norris comes up with possession. Norris coming back opposite direction with some speed. He's got Ellsbury inside. Sticked away by Sisti. Sisti with possession right in front of the net. He goes ahead and clears that out into the neutral zone. Natterjacks will get a change on D there. Ellsbury cycling back through his own zone. Coming with speed, near side, past the half wall. Couple sticks, in front, shoots, scores! Top cheddar! Riley Ellsbury, 1-0, Southern Knights lead.
Instant replay not working. Ellsbury takes that puck in wide, comes in, and a little just too much gap on the Natterjacks defenseman. He gets to be able to get into the middle and shoots far side on Gutman. So, good goal by Riley Ellsbury. You can't give him. He's a player to watch. He's one of the hot goal scorers right now. That's his 8th of the playoffs. Can't give him time or space. Cut the gap control down.
Face-off won by the Natterjacks. Tranby takes it down into the Knights zone. Loses possession. Norris will take that back behind the net. Look to reset. Shore. Comes near side, up to Burke. Burke loses possession. Sisti comes up with it in the Natterjack zone. Sisti stretching it out for Palermo. Palermo through the middle, sticked away by Ellsbury. Johnson comes up with it. He sends that deep down into the Knight zone. Shore with possession at the half wall, tries to get it out. That's kept in by Tranby, takes a shot, goes wide. Puck kept in at the blue line by Sisti. Taken away by Burke. Burke inside, one to beat. Burke, forehand, backhand, shoots and scores! Cameron Burke, 2-0 Southern Knights.
Both goals going down that right side, coming in from the right side of Gutman to the left side of Gutman, beating him both times.
By Miles Mann, 3-on-2 coming back the other way. Mann across the slot, he takes a shot. Zazulovic able to glove that one down for the save.
Yeah, a little 3-on-2 there. Great back check by Ethan Merritt to make it a 3-on-3. It gave him the only choice was to shoot there. Couldn't take it wide. Defense doing a great job trying to force him to the middle and then try to clinch that opening.
Face-off won by the Knights. Hintz takes that around back. Kept in at the half wall by Latour. Latour plays it around the backside of the net for Tittle. Tittle out to Nice at the blue line. Nice tries to make a step. That's taken away by Ethan Merritt. Merritt gets it up to Caldwell. Sticked away by Suster. Suster stretches for Tittle coming across the neutral zone. Up to Legault. Legault centers one, looking for Latour inside. He gets a shot off, and that's saved by Zazulovic. 6:06 left to play in the first.
Yeah, great play there by Sky Tittle. Sky Tittle just throws it off the boards to Suster. Suster takes it in, passes it over to Latour. Latour got a puck on it, or stick on it. Again, Kirill with a nice leg pad, but had a rebound. Kirill just gobbled it up.
Tied up, face-off won by the Natterjacks. Palermo plays that down low, looking for Johnson. Out to Palermo again. Johnson comes up with possession, near side corner. Back behind the net. Centers one up to Palermo, had one down in the slot. Palermo sends it to Johnson. Johnson, sharp angle, just misses. Palermo, near side corner. Walks it across the slot, shoots, that gets blocked down by the Knights defender. Suster back behind the net. He's going to wrap center one up. Zazulovic stretches out. He's able to get a glove on that. That'll get the whistle. 5:30 left to play in the first. Knights lead 2-0.
Natterjacks doing a great job that when Chucky Norris and Riley Ellsbury are not on the ice, they are doing a great job keeping in the offensive zone. We just got to get a capitalization here.
Well, face-off tie up there. Palermo and Norris back behind the net. Norris comes up with possession. Norris skates it down, far side. He's got speed on the backhand, side of the net. Norris keeps possession. Between the legs out to the blue line. Norris back behind the net with possession. Takes it down, goes across the ice, and that's knocked out by Jake Gutman. Knights look to clear the zone, up to Norris on the one touch from Palladino. Norris with possession still, backhand, out in front, puck's loose. Out to the blue line. Gutman just looking to clear it out. Sends one all the way down the other way, icing waved off. Knights will look to reset. Knights coming down into the Natterjack zone. Burke has a goal already on the evening. Sends it out to the blue line. Back down to Burke. Burke plays it down low for Ellsbury. Ellsbury gets that taken off his stick by Sisti. Sisti looking to stretch one out. He's got Ryab Shopka and and Clevenger. Ryab Shopka backhands to Clevenger back behind the net. Puck looks like it landed up on top of the shelf. That'll get the whistle. 3:51 left to play in the first period.
Raya Shopka, another 8th grader in this league. Just a young player. They got another player to be careful for. He put a goal in yesterday, had a couple chances. He's not afraid to go right to the front of the net and put a shot on net.
Face-off won by the Knights. Natterjacks look to keep it into the zone. Savage plays it to Caldwell. A lot of bodies go down into the corner there. Looks like Ellsbury comes up with it. Ellsbury's met by Ryab Shopka down there. Get it out to Caldwell. Caldwell by himself, coming with some speed. Got it on the forehand. Big glove save by Ryan Gutman.
Good rush there by Austin Caldwell, trying to look glove side, go to that top shelf, but Ryan Gutman with that big glove save.
Face-off won by the Natterjacks, unable to clear the zone. Out to Ashton Savage at the blue line. Big shot saved by Gutman.
It was like nice, just tried to get that puck up the glass. Fortunately, it just hits the netting, so we're going to have a defensive zone face-off for the Natterjacks. Ellsbury on the draw.
Shot saved by Gutman. He gets a leg pad on it. Puck goes down into the near side corner. Suster looks to clear that one out. Icing waved off. Savage down into the far side corner. Looks like Caldwell broke his stick as he heads to the bench. Johnson, near side corner. Centering pass. Puck was loose out in front, taken away by Ellsbury. Ellsbury sends that down. Out to Chuck Norris. He's got help inside. Backhands down low. Shot on. Doesn't get enough on it. Saved by Gutman. Puck out to the blue line. And Latour comes up with it. Loses possession, though. Gives it up to Savage. Savage plays it to Norris. He's going to cycle back through the Knights zone. Norris near side. Fakes a shot. He's got help inside. Centers one up. Dangerous. Ellsbury just doesn't get the backhand on it, and the Natterjacks just hoping to keep it out of their zone. Little back and forth through the neutral zone. Ellsbury plays it down low as the clock runs past 2 minutes. Nice plays it, looks to play it off the board, taken away by Norris. Ellsbury out to the blue line. Palermo knocks that down. Gets it out into the neutral zone. Little back and forth, went off the stick on the bench. And that'll get the whistle. 1:46 left to play, 2-0 Knights lead.
And when you have that forecheck of the Southern Knights, again, it is very scary as the Natterjacks, because you look up, you just see a dark jersey, you're trying to make that pass or a quick breakout pass, but it could be the wrong color. So you got to have a little heads up. You got to move with the puck as soon as that puck goes in the zone.
Face-off down, won by the Knights. Purpura will send that one deep down into the Natterjack zone. Tranby plays it back to Sisti. Sisti looking for Legault near side. Legault with the blind pass taken away by Norris. Norris high slot. Gets it into Merritt. Merritt shoots. Top cheddar again. Ethan Merritt shoots. Scores. 3-0. Southern Knights.
Great shot by Ethan Merritt. Top shelf right over the blocker of Gutman. Unbelievable shot. Nice pass by Chucky Norris. He got that shot off quick, and that's what beat Gutman.
.128 left to play in the first period. Face-off won by the Knights. Colton Hintz gives it up to Sisti. Sisti plays it up to Schooley. Schooley stretches it across looking for Tittle. Tittle with possession back behind the net. Drops it for Johnson. Across the slot, man shoots, knocked down in front. Zazulovic able to get the cover on that for the whistle. 1:05 left to play. Face-off down in the Knight zone to the right of Zazulovic. Face-off is won by the Knights. They'll play it around the backside of the net looking for Merritt. Merritt gets it out to Norris. Norris coming with speed. Backhand, forehand. Chuck Norris shoots and scores. It is 4-0. 54 seconds left.
Chucky Norris and Riley Ellsbury putting a clinic on today, making all this stuff happen. it's tough to beat them. It's tough to guard them. They are fast players. They're very good with the puck. It is very tough. If you go man on man, they're gonna beat you. You got to really protect the body and make sure they don't get in.
Riley Ellsbury and Chuck Norris each with a goal and an assist. And then the ancillary, they make the rest of the team better. Ethan Merritt and Cameron Burke off their help. Puck down into the Knights zone. Schooley looks to center it, taken away by Ashton Savage. Opportunity there backside and just missed the net. Nice, goes hard angle off the boards, taken away by Caldwell. Little back and forth through the middle. Gallimore plays it out. Back to Nice. Nice down into the Knights zone. 10 seconds left to play. Up lead, you're watching Friday Night Lights. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Period 2. Southern Knights lead over the Northeastern Natterjacks. Having some technical difficulties tonight as nothing wants to seem to work. Internet connection issues. Instant replay is kind of failing us here. But we've got high school hockey. Again, 4-0. Southern Knights lead over the Natterjacks. Face-off won by the Knights. Ellsbury takes a shot that gets kicked away by Gutman. Merritt down in the middle of the ice as the puck goes back and forth. Legault comes up with it. He plays it up to Sisti. Sisti through the middle. Toe drag, backhand, forehand. Doesn't get the shot on net with the backhand.
Yeah, that one hit the post. That's John Sisti's second post of the game.
Plays it down looking for Latour. Latour doesn't bring the mail with him. Stretch pass looking for Norris. Taken away by Sisti. Sisti into the Knight zone. He'll take a shot from the top of the circle. 15 minutes left to play in the first period. Jamison Palermo.
Definitely the start of a better second period. That's a good, huge start for the second period. 1 minute in.
Puts the Natterjacks on the board for sure.
Here we go. Question is, will Kirill the Thrill answer, or will that hurt?
The tie up down low. Norris comes up with possession. He's marred by 3 bodies. Still comes up with it top side. Gets a shot backhand. Doesn't make it to the net. Norris through the high slot. Gonna circle it around. Between the legs. High angle shot. No help inside. Looks to take a shot. Shore gets a stick on it. That one goes up over the top of the glass.
Yeah, that's a pretty high shot. I don't even know if it hit Shore's stick. It goes straight up in the air.
Faceoff will come down in the Knight zone just to the left of Zazulovic. Faceoff won by the Knights. Savage able to clear the zone. Icing waved off as that hit a couple of sticks on the way out. Puck to Latour in the near side corner. Latour met by a couple bodies. Maintains possession. Palladino gets it out around the other side, out to Colton Hintz. Hintz down in the far side corner. Hintz and Gutman mixing it up. Ryabashopka comes up with possession. Ryabashopka to the slot. He takes a shot off the stick. Backside, Yen's got an opportunity. Man, puck's loose, and the Knights able to clear the zone. Tranby cycling it around, stretches one for Sisti. Sisti past the face-off circle, backside, forced hand, Kirill's.
Knights, it looks like when he was going against Schooley on the boards, he might have hit his stick into the boards and kind of jabbed himself, so it looked like he was out of breath. I haven't seen him on the ice since. So keeping an eye on 18 for the Southern Knights, see if he's taking a little break or not.
Face off one, quick shot by Sisti, saved by Zazulovic. Suster tries to keep it in at the blue line. Palermo knocks that back in. Savage tries to clear it out to Sisti, shot, Zazulovic ready for it.
Kirill having a little choice of words. Looks like Palermo went hard to the net, went over Kirill. Kirill, only an 8th grader, still oversees Palermo, who's like 18.
Yeah, Kirill Zazulovic, a 2010 birth year, 15 years old, stands 6'2" at 15 years old. Puck out to the blue line, won by the Natterjacks, played down into the near side corner for Palermo. Palermo over to Tranby. Quick shot across, just goes wide. Palermo picks up the rebound inside. Purpura couldn't get a stick on it. That came into a dangerous area. Cameron Burke steps up, makes a block on the shot by Latour. Out in front. Palermo just couldn't get a stick on to redirect that. Knights come up with possession. Caldwell stretches it for Norris. Norris over to Burke, near side. Burke shoots, kicked away by Gutman. Natterjacks look to stretch one across. Caldwell, nice job getting the stick up, knocking that down into the neutral zone. Caldwell past Sisti, past Palermo. Palermo with possession now. Norris takes it over. Norris going to turn it around in the far side corner. Meets with Sisti on the backhand. Taken away by Latour. Sisti gets it to Palermo. Palermo tries to send it through traffic. 3 Knights back there just to stop up the rush by the Natterjacks as Tranby plays it back behind the net. 7:40 left to play. Savage struggles to handle the puck. Knights win the race down into the corner. Puck goes out to Burke, kept in by Legault. Legault looking for Sisti across. He struggles to handle that. Norris comes up with possession, met by Tittle backside. Legault inside, looks to take a shot. That's stick down by Burke. Centering, pass by Sisti. Legault can't get a stick on it. Puck kept in by Latour, back behind the net.
Natterjacks doing a great job just throwing everything on the net, and if it's not there, they're throwing it deep into the zone.
Legault back behind the net, centers one up, has Tittle inside, puck's loose, and Zazulovic covers that one up, gets the glove on it for the whistle. 6:53 left to play in the second period.
Yeah, both teams have that long change, so if you can keep them in their defensive zone for as long as you possibly can, burns them out, get new bodies on when you can, and just keep running them down. Natterjacks doing a great job this period doing so. They're getting their chances, and all they have to do is get a little lucky bounce, lucky stick, maybe a little tip, and we'll see another goal here from the Natterjacks.
Miles Mann and Cooper Womble in the face-off circle. Face-off won by Mann, out to Suster. Suster takes shot, tipped out in front, saved by Zazulovic. Puck's loose. Mann wins the fight for that one to the high slot. Mann's going to take it down to the face-off circle, out to Suster. Suster does a nice job keeping that in, takes it down into the near side corner. Suster back behind the net, looking for Nice. Suster regains possession down in the far side corner. Suster looking across to Mann. Quick shot inside. Zazulovic covers that one up for the whistle.
Natterjacks all over it that shift. Around the net, trying to find the lanes, getting shots on net, trying to look for rebounds. The rebounds are there sometimes. Just we got to make sure sticks are on the ice.
Quick shot inside by Mann, wins the faceoff to himself. Zazulovic able to cover that for the whistle. 6:21 left to play in the second period. Southern Knights lead 4-1 over the Northeastern Natterjacks.
Oh, Hintz is back on the ice, so good to see.
Johnson with possession back behind the net. He's got 2 down low in the slot. Little back and forth. Johnson meets up with Brooks Gallimore down low. Shot inside by Mann. Mann one touch looking for Schooley. Schooley again with possession to Johnson. Johnson back and forth, centering pass, little too much sauce on that one. Garrett Nice can't get a stick on it. Brooks Gallimore will take the puck down into the Natterjack zone. Suster takes that puck away, looks to stretch one across, forgot to bring the puck with him. Over to Nice. Nice one touches, pushes it down into the zone. Schooley will give chase. Puck taken away by Ryabashopka. Ryabashopka centers one up, kept in by Schooley. Schooley takes a shot that just goes wide to the near side. Ryabashopka down in the corner, met by Palladino. Little back and forth, Palladino comes up with it. Suster does a nice job grabbing the puck as it goes into the neutral zone, and the Knights will finally get a clear, and they'll get a needed change. Ryabashopka in the neutral zone. One touch down near side, shot in by Suster. Little high stick, Ellsbury's gonna wait on it. Suster comes in, sneaks that one away from him. Suster inside to the slot. Puck kept in at the blue line by Schooley. Schooley drops that down low. Ryabashopka down with Hintz. Hintz goes ahead, sends that one all the way down, hand in the air. That'll get the...
Oh, no ice.
No ice, doesn't make it to the line.
Hit the boards at a weird angle and didn't cross the red.
Natterjacks looking to reset. Palermo.
Good job just
plays
getting
it
the puck
down
deep.
in the zone. Ellsbury looking to stretch one. He's got Norris. Norris all by himself. Backhand, forehand.
Good
Between
save.
the legs. Big save by Gutman. Keeps it out of the net. Natterjacks send it back the other way. Get the icing. 4 minutes left in the second.
Yeah, nice stress pass by Ellsbury to Chucky Norris. You haven't seen it yet, but that was like the first longest one, and usually they're doing that a lot. So we'll see if we see more of that.
Definitely a part of the game plan. Have not used it much tonight, though. Faceoff will come down in the Natterjack zone just to the left of Gutman. Ellsbury and Palermo in the faceoff circle. Faceoff won by Ellsbury, out to Savage. Savage will play it down for Norris. Top of the faceoff circle. Shot, saved by Gutman.
So we're going to change the Natterjacks forward line to put Sisti, Tittle, and Jake Gutman against this top line for the Natterjacks with Chucky Norris, Ethan Merritt, Riley Ellsbury.
Face-off won by the Natterjacks, unable to clear the zone. Savage keeps that in. Tranby with possession back behind the net. Plays it out to Sisti. Sisti looks to stretch one. That goes off the skate of Norris. Puck will go down back behind the net. Savage plays it to Shore. Shore able to clear the zone. And here come the Knights again. Ellsbury, face-off circle, shoots.
Nice save, Gutman.
That got knocked down in
Trip.
front. There's a trip on
Todd.
Sisti. Looks like that's going to be Todd Shore going to the penalty box. 3:15 left to play in the second, and that will put us back on a Rockhounds power play. Rockhounds where people come together, share ideas, create meaningful connections. Natterjacks unsuccessful on their first power play. 3:15 left to play in the second.
As long as they spread out the puck here and keep shooting the puck, looking for that person in front of the net, we should get a goal here.
Face-off won by the Natterjacks. Shot down, gets stopped by Savage. Latour tried to cycle it back in, goes off the stick of Ellsbury up and over the glass.
Yeah, can't force passes here. If it's not a safe shot, just throw it down deep, throw it to the next player, find the open player.
Face-off tied up down low. Ellsbury takes a swipe at the Knights, able to clear the zone. Suster will reset back behind the net for the Natterjacks. Suster to Sisti. Sisti goes back to Suster. Near side face-off circle. Puck stick down by Savage. Sisti inside. Looked like he wanted to take a couple shots there, just couldn't get the puck right. Suster goes D to D over to Schooley. Schooley looks inside for Nice. Nice plays it down into the corner, taken away by Norris. Norris is met by Palermo and Nice in the corner. Nice comes up with possession. Nice inside. 1, 2. Zazulovic, unbelievable!
Another Zazulovic double save.
Garrett Nice takes a shot, kicked away by Zazulovic, gets his own rebound. Zazulovic leg saves the other one, covers it for the whistle. Unbelievable.
It's hard to believe he is an 8th grade goalie with this much talent. Unbelievable.
I have to make a public apology to Kirill Zazulovic and his family for the instant replay not working tonight. Unbelievable double saves by Zazulovic.
You're going to want to rewind that when you're watching that on YouTube.
Hands down, 2 best goaltenders in the league this season for high school hockey with Zazulovic and Gutman. The disparity between them, Gutman in his senior year, final year of youth hockey. Zazulovic, a freshman, down in front. Zazulovic covers it up for the whistle again.
Good look by the Natterjacks, keeping it low, just throwing it in front of the net. Just unlucky, hit something, and then Zazulovic got that save.
42 seconds left on the Natterjacks power play. Sisti comes up with possession. He's going to stretch one across. Shot inside, knocked down by Purpura. Mann looks inside, taken away. Burke able to clear that one, sends it all the way back down to the Natterjacks zone. 24 seconds left in the power play. Suster looking to stretch one for Schooley. Hintz gets a stick in there, knocks that one down, disrupts everything. Schooley coming near side into the Knights zone. Schooley across the middle through the face-off circle. Man gets on, shot in front and knocked down. Looked like that was Hintz, got a leg on that one to stop it from going in. Zazulovic covers that up. 2 seconds left on the Natterjacks power play.
Yeah, a couple shot blocks there that really helped them because it's scary sometimes if you get a wide open shot, but Southern doing a great job blocking shots tonight.
Face off won by the Natterjacks. Quick shot inside. Zazulovic goes ahead and gets the glove on that, and that'll be a successful kill for the Knights again. Similar situation to the second game last night. Shots on net, 23-15 in favor of Northeastern. Face-off won by Legault. Looks down low for Yen. Puck kept in at the blue line. Shot inside. Off the glove of Zazulovic out in front, but he's able to get up for the icing. Again, doesn't look like it's going to make it. Puck battle down in the corner, won by Clevenger, gets it up to Sisti. Sisti gonna race down into the corner with Norris. Inside, shot by Sisti, backhand glide, saved by Zazulovic. Norris gets a stick on it, comes up with possession. Norris stretches it to Caldwell. Caldwell back to Norris. Norris takes a shot, right? Norris shot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 30 minutes down, 15 to go. Southern Knights poised for an upset as they lead 4-0 over the Northeastern Natterjacks. Suster bringing it down into the Knight zone. Takes it down far side corner, shot inside. Zazulovic gets the glove on that, covers it for 2-on-1. Nice. Saved by Zazulovic. Nice with possession, back behind the net. Out to Suster. Suster plays it down low, back behind the net looking for Tittle. Shorp tries to wrap that, kept in by Schooley. Schooley back, circle it back around in the Natterjack zone. Suster to the top of the circle, drops it down low. Zazulovic not going to play with that, just goes ahead and covers it up for the whistle. 10:22 left to play.
Definitely been back and forth this period so far. Southern having a couple of chances, a couple more bigger chances than the Natterjacks, but Natterjacks just, again, putting it on net, hoping something goes in.
Puck down into the corner. Savage looks to clear, goes out to Womble. A little back and forth between Womble and Tranby. Tranby gets it up to Johnson. Johnson keeps possession through traffic. He tries to get a shot on. That goes up over the top of the net. Knights clear the zone. Puck in through the center. A little back and forth. Latour. Gallimore tries to get a shot off. Puck kept in by Caldwell. Caldwell and Johnson go out to the blue line. Caldwell finds Savage. Savage turns it around at the blue line. Goes across. Looked like he was looking for Womble. Womble wasn't there anymore. Puck comes down the other way. Man doesn't get enough on it. Puck gets sent back out into the neutral zone.
The puck's having a tough time. Feels like everyone's kind of losing it. If they're stick handling too much or it's just slowing down, stopping when it's on their stick.
Savage with possession. Looks up to Womble. Stopped at the red line by Tranby. Puck goes down into the corner. Johnson and Savage. Power play of the game. With that, it's time for a Rockhound power play. Rockhounds where people can come together, share ideas, and create meaningful connections.
Very dangerous power play on the ice. There's like Cam Burke, Riley Ellsbury, Austin Caldwell, Chucky Norris, and Austin Savage.
Power play. One of them drops for the power play goal. And again, Southern Knights lead 5-1. Inside, Sisti looking to change things up here. Shot saved by Zazulovic, kicks it out to the slot, and the Knights able to clear the zone. Schooley inside, looks like he's going to draw the penalty after he gets out of the box. That'll put the Natterjacks on the power play. 4:57 left to go. And once again, it's time for a Rockhound power play. Rockhounds, where people can come together, share ideas, and create meaningful connections.
Looks like 15, Connor Womble going to get that tripping call against Nolan Schooley, who was going down that left side. It's not over. 4:57 left.
4:57 with a power play. Definitely a situation where need to be successful on here. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Puck to Norris down on the far side half wall. Norris plays it out to Ellsbury. Ellsbury out to the blue line. On. Knights successfully kill the penalty kill. The puck goes all the way down for icing. 1:10 left to play.
Sisti going through the middle there, and then they got the defensive for the Southern Knights just kind of held the stick down there, being strong, making sure he can't lift his stick up. Call wanted was a hold from the Natterjacks bench, but not really a hold. He's just trying to maintain his position, making sure that stick doesn't go up.
1:10 left to play, down by 3. Puck down in the other zone. Shot on, saved by Zazulovic. Do you just concede the goalie pull here because you're down by 3, or is it the championships?
Yeah, that's a good question. You got to look at who's on the ice, and it's tough because they're still going for the stretch pass for Ellsbury and Chuck Norris. So, like,
puck kept in. Quick shot on, knocked down by Zazulovic. Stretched out for Norris. Norris looking across for Hintz. Ellsbury resets in the neutral zone. Ellsbury to Norris, 40 seconds left to go.
Southern Knights trying to take all the time they can, go back in the zone, try to move it up.
Puck taken away down low by Gutman. 25 seconds left to go. Knights play it down. Burke to Norris at the half wall. Norris goes across looking for Hintz. 15 seconds. Palermo comes up with possession. Looks like everybody's going to concede that one. 5 seconds left to go. And beyond belief, the Southern Knights just won the championship for Charlotte Scholastic High School League.
Yeah, great win by the Southern Knights. Again, it all does come down to Kirill. Kirill making unbelievable saves. They outshot the Northeastern Natterjacks, outshooting Southern 34-22. He makes one save, he makes two saves. Constantly he'll make that third save, which is just not a normal thing for a goaltender. So he is a hot goaltender in all of playoffs, and that's what wins championships.
Southern Knights had a road through the playoffs too. You know, you have a team that goes undefeated through 12, 13 games of the season in the Central Predators. They come off on a losing streak there towards the end, but that's not an easy game, and again they were outshot in that one.
Exactly.
You know, to come against the #1 Northeastern Natterjacks to finish it off. Definitely two underdog wins for the Southern Knights to pull off this championship here.
Yeah, I got to give it up to the Natterjacks. Again, they did not stop. I mean, 34 shots. They were shooting everything they possibly could to try to get this lead, or try to break down that lead. And a good overall season from them. Another like 12-2-2 in the regular season, and then win 2 playoff games to get to the championship. That's a great season, and hopefully they'll be back next year. They have a very young team. Talked to Coach CJ today. He said in a couple of years, like 1 or 2 years, they're going to be a powerhouse with how young they are, and hopefully grow to a championship season next year. Almost like the Edmonton Oilers. Speaking of, that game is starting pretty soon. About 30 minutes.
30 minutes to puck drop for that one. Southern coaches all dappered up again. That might be the recipe to the win.
Coaches dressed to success.
And there it is as the Southern Knights receive the game-winning trophy. Argument to be made on the addition of Ashton Savage and Charles Norris to the addition and changing things around. But